Hello, we're the Global News Intelligence Latin American team. This is a very short presentation to show you how Global News Intelligence is doing media analysis. First, to show you how we think media intelligence, then show you how it looks from the client end, and talk to you very briefly about how social media challenges being faced by our team. We basically have a very different insight to what media analysis is. And what we do is strategic media analysis. We don't do the traditional media information analysis. What we do is we take it to the next level. We decompose all the all the media information, traditional media information, blogosphere, and social media into pieces, and we create analysis. Most of the traditional media just gives you the clips and sometimes just give you a tone of how the media was covered. They also create some analysis, but what we do is we collect the basic information. We do it for the articles, but we also do it for each of the statements sources give to the journalist. And those statements are an assumption of what they're thinking, what the elites and what the leaders of opinion are thinking, and we classify that information. We systematize all that information over time, every day, from any media environment, and create strategic insights. What we do is then we connect the dots. We have very, very solid and large databases for each of the topics for each client. We then analyze stakeholders, the statements, the journalists, the articles, the media, and we create several variables for each one of them. We code this information and voila. Then we will have very, very powerful and beautiful information to help you through the decision making, both in strategic and strategic communications. What we have at the end is a very powerful data set that is going to allow all organizations not to guess when it comes to decision making. It's not down to the PR office or the communications office to know what they're looking at, if they read or not an article, or if they were in the mood. No, we have the data to confirm what we're saying. You can have an organization all looking at the same media outlet and taking the same media decisions. And you can be looking at the same 4,000 articles over the last couple of months to make sense of it. You can't read them all. You can't have your CEO reading them all. You can have look at one day what data set, look at one chart, and make a decision upon it, and also agree to make those decisions. That's what global news intelligence is about. How it works, we basically use the open source intelligence process and we apply it to open source media intelligence. First, we collect all the data from various sources, mostly open source, of course, and we also have services for traditional media collection of information. Then we have our own news control, our own software to classify good data from non-good data, so we can analyze this information, process it, and separate it. Then we upload this information to a remote portal where every single client can access easily and see how the flux of information and the battle of information is going. Who is winning in terms of how they're defining reality and what language. And one of the most key aspects of this is the value added. We tell you why this information is there, why is it behaving the way it's behaving, and where is it going. What can we do? What can you do to change the current media environment? I'm going to focus in number 3 to explain you how it works. You basically have access to a portal in gnilat.com. You go to the client login and you access any of the databases you have decided to have. Here there are a few that we have been allowed to show you, and this is some things you can see where you can access the dataset. You can access the basic information. You decide this is a dashboard or a situation war room when you can see who is who, how is the media environment playing. Basically, you can choose any of these 6 basic windows. You can define what you want to see. They prefer, for instance, see what other media outlets they're looking at. They can see it for the last year, how they're playing, and if they change. You can see a very stable media environment for a specific topic. You can see what other issues playing. You can see the recent news, and even can be sent to each article and take a look, send it via email, via PDF, and so on and so forth. Who are the source types? Who are the key people and the key players? And what's the message environment? You can change this to any strategic measure you want. You can decide, you can apply this logic to any strategic environment or media environment you like. Basically, what we do then is we go a deeper level and we start crossing information. What's the information being displayed in media, and who is portraying that information? You can say, look, I want to see this. Each media outlet, ADN, is a Colombian media outlet. Who are the key source types? And then you say, if the NGOs are the key source types, I'd like to see of those NGOs as key source types, who are the key people talking then? So then you have names. And when you have names and you can cross with messages, then you will know what to do in terms of messaging and addressing and targeting your messages. You can also do for each media outlet, you can do for each media group, and doing very, very narrow analysis of each information. You can go to an even deeper level and do cross variables in detailed analysis. When you can change dates, you can decide how to see the information and what variables you want to cross. This is very powerful data set where you can choose by circulation, influence of the medium, you can see the market and audience of the medium, you can see its nationality and focus on that type of information. You can see, no, I want to look into the journalist, what's the audience, the gender of the journalist, the name of the journalist, so you can search them and decide whatever you want to see, you can actually see it. And what you have here is a powerful set of graphicing that's going to allow you to see quickly, very fast, what's the information and how is it playing. You can see what are the issues for this case, who are the sources being quoted by the media. You can change the way you're looking at this, you want to see the information, and so on. This is a very quick snapshot that we wanted to show you so we could continue this conversation offline. Also, it's important for us to tell you that the way we approached traditional media a few years ago has been very useful to adapt to the social media challenge. We know there's a lot of API based software capturing all this text and trying to do keyword algorithms that do not necessarily reflect the complexity sometimes of what language is, especially when it's not in English. So we believe in human criteria to code this information. Of course, then we have to sacrifice a little bit real time. So we still have near real time analysis, but then we have very powerful insights. We don't tell you you have 80% of positive. We tell you why is this good, why is this bad, and yet how can you change it? And we also know that social media will continue to change, and we're facing that challenge because we are into content analysis. And content is not just about traditional media. Content is just not about blogs. Content is about how we humans create and use language to define our reality, and that's what we fight for in communications. So we'll gladly continue this conversation offline. Please contact us and go to globalnewsintelligencelatinamerica.com, gnilat.com. And it has been great to have this time with you. Thank you very much.